Sunday finds us
at Gunbower.
Let's take a look at our week. This is at the corner of the Gunny Roadhouse and the Gunny Pub. We're just going to walk back to our camp. So this is basically just behind the Gunny Roadhouse. We got this lawned area, nice seat. The public toilets. Beautiful old trees. Bit of a pontoon or a jetty with a canoe launcher. A fishing platform, or covered area with a couple of electric barbecues and some seating. As you come and sit at this bar. That's a nice view. There's a cool little playground for the kids. This slide is interesting. It makes you work getting up the slide. But like most country towns, a bit of a shelter, paying homage to the agricultural past. Apparently there was a tobacco industry here. If there was still a tobacco industry here, imagine the money they'd be making. And you just go over the bridge. I know I've talked before about what makes a creek and what makes a river. The Gunbower Creek seems like a significant creek.
It does, doesn't it? Seems
more significant than some rivers. If you do know the difference, please let me know. And then you just keep following this little track. Now we're at the sports ground. Down on the right you've got a fishing area. Got the club rooms. There's tennis courts over the other side. And there's some toilets. But that ground looks in immaculate condition. And here's where we're getting into the camping area. There's a boat ramp. They ask you to keep that clear. Collecting for cans, so that's great. And a box for our donations. I've got a book library, which one of the great things about travelling, I reckon. I love them. But this is a new one. Dog toys. What's going to be in there, Tanya?
Dog toys?
It's a ball and a stick. We've tucked ourselves over in the corner, which is the furthest point away from town. Once again, get our steps up. Maybe we just like being away from busy areas. Not that it's busy, there's only 3 vans. Basil and Sir Gallivant. We've just walked back from the Gunny Pub. It was nice, and it's a nice easy walk from the campground, so support the local traders, and if you stay here, go to the pub.
Yeah, food was nice.
Straight across from it is the creek, bit of a weir at the back, some weeds. The birds have been beautiful, haven't they, Tanya?
Yeah, lots of different birds.
Lots of different birds. Go and do something, birds. But we're going to go for a walk this morning, and we're going to go and check out the waterways, I suppose. Would you call them the waterways, Tanya?
Why not?
Why not the waterways? We're going to check out the Gunbower waterways. time of year, just be aware that cars do drive along here. So it's not just purely a walking track, it's a shared pathway. So a 15-minute drive from Gunbower, and we're checking out the Torumbarry weir. So once you come off the main road between Gunbower and Echuca, it is a bit over 7k drive, and a bit narrow and tight in places at times. So obviously just share the road with the other people. Lovely entryway, Torumbarry Weir, and lock number 26. 1,628 kilometres from the mouth of the Murray, 86 metres above sea level. So we're parked at the roundabout, that green space there. We have a little bit of lunch, and then we go out the concrete path. Now the toilets are accessible from this side, but it's a bit hard to see. But you just sort of go in there, there's a sign, but it is pretty covered. And then come up to the high side of the Torumbarry weir.
Oh, wow.
So there's the weir. There's a small little paddle stand. It looks like it's going to get ready to go in the lock. There's a fella on a canoe. We're also doing these massive extensions on this massive paddle steamer. Putting a third story on. Because 2 stories isn't enough for a boat. So around from the water information place, you go through this gate. Now it is open hours. We're looking at the Torumbarry weir.
Mr. Pelican.
Looking for a feed? So that's the fish ladder.
It's pretty cool.
It is. Looks like there'd be a lot of effort to swim up there.
Oh, wouldn't it? Especially in the swirly ones, you got no break.
You'd really, really want to be going upstream. At the Torumbarry weir, there's also lock 26. So this is where boats can enter from the Echuca side, and it gets locked up behind them. All the water drops out until they get to the same level as the supposedly western side, and then these gates open and the boats can go out. Alternately, boats from the western side can then come in. The lock is pumped full of water to fill up and raise to the level of the Echuca side of the river. Now, just going by the height of that, I reckon 4 metre difference between height and water. That's a lot of water.
A lot of water.
That's a lot of water.
A lot of water.
This water eventually will make its way out the mouth of the Murray at Gore. It was a great stroke of luck to be in Gunbower the weekend that the Gunbower Cup was on. My father was fortunate enough to win it in 1994 with a great horse called Lavender Storm, and I hadn't been to the trots for a long time, so it was great to go and have a look at country trots again. Really enjoyed it. Didn't win any money, actually lost money, but you know, that's the trots for you. That brings us to the end of our 2025 travels, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Homewood for Christmas.
Homewood for Christmas. We'll still be living in the van because the van's our house. But we'll be won't be travelling as far, if at all.
Not for a couple of weeks at least.
Not for a couple of weeks, not until the new year.
Yep.
And we'll still try and put out some stuff